Hello dear little ones, we will study mathematics today. We will start with the first chapter, shapes and space. The first topic is called inside outside. In this topic, we are given three objects. First object is the picture of an Arab who is a man. The second object is the picture of a camel who is an animal. The third object is the picture of a tent. As you can see, I have underlined all three of them. We'll read the topic and try to understand. Now, we will try to identify the objects according to the paragraph. We will start. So, it goes like the Arab. This is the picture of an Arab and his camel. It was a cold winter day. This is the picture of an Arab. The Arab was traveling on the dash back. By dash I mean the camel. This is the picture of a camel. So the Arab was traveling on the camel's back. This is the camel. So at night the Arab, this is the picture of Arab, pitched his tent, which means at night the Arab put up his tent. This is the picture of a tent, and went inside it. The camel was left outside. So the Arab, he put up his tent and went inside it, and the camel was outside. Then what happens? Then the camel, see, this is the picture of a camel. This is the picture of a tent, and inside the tent, as we can see here, this Arab is sitting inside the tent. So the camel asks the Arab, "May I put my neck inside? It is too cold outside." So the camel asks the Arab if he could put his neck inside the tent. The Arab, who is sitting inside this tent, replies, "Okay, you may put your neck inside," which means the Arab says the camel that yes, you can put your neck inside the tent. Next, what happens is, in this picture we can see that the camel here has put his neck inside the tent. Then he asks the Arab, "May I put my front legs inside? It is too cold outside." So the camel wants to put his front legs inside the tent as well. So this is the picture of a tent. This is the Arab who is sitting inside the tent, and this is the camel who has put his neck inside the tent, and now he wants to put his front legs inside as well. So the Arab says, "Okay, you may put your front legs inside," which means the Arab allows the camel to put his front legs inside as well. In the next picture we can see the camel has put his front legs inside the tent, and then the camel asks the Arab, "Can I come inside? It is too cold outside." Now the camel wants to come inside the tent completely, as it was very cold outside. But the Arab, who was sitting inside this big tent, says, "No, the tent is too small for both of us." The Arab tells the camel that this tent is too small for both of us and we will not fit inside this tent. So he says no to the camel. Let's see what happens next. In this picture we can see that the camel is inside the tent. So what happens is, the camel says, "So I am coming inside and you go outside." That means the camel goes inside the tent and he puts the Arab outside the tent. So the camel is sleeping now inside this tent, and Arab is sitting outside in the cold. So once more we'll see. This is the picture of a camel here who is sleeping inside the tent. This is the picture of an Arab who is sitting outside, and this is the picture of a tent. This tent inside which the camel is sleeping. We'll go to the next topic. The next topic is called as bigger and smaller. So in this topic we will have to identify the objects which are bigger, and we will have to identify the objects which are smaller. Now, what is bigger and smaller? Whenever we say bigger, it means with respect to something. What do I mean? I mean, we can say that this box is bigger as compared to this one. And we can also say, this box is bigger as compared to this box. We can also say that this box is smaller when compared to this one. We'll see with the help of a few examples. Now we'll have to tick the objects which are bigger in this question. So in this question they have given two diagrams. This is the picture of an animal which is hippopotamus. This is the picture of a dog. Now we need to tick the animal which is bigger. So we can see that this animal is bigger. Why? Because this animal looks bigger. So this animal is bigger with respect to this animal. We can also say that this animal, who is the dog, is smaller as compared to this animal which is hippopotamus. We'll see the next question. Tick the one that is smaller. So in this picture they have given the picture of two leaves. This is a small leaf and this is a bigger leaf. So we need to identify the one that is smaller. So as we can see that this leaf is smaller as compared to this one. We can also say that this leaf is bigger as compared to this leaf. We'll see the next question. This is the picture of a squirrel and this is the picture of a cow, and we need to tick the one that is smaller. So we can very well see that this animal, who is a squirrel, is smaller as compared to this animal who is cow. So we need to tick this one. This is the correct answer. We can also say that this animal, the cow, is bigger as compared to this animal. Tick. We'll see the next question. The next question is tick the smaller tire. So now these are two boys who are playing with tires, and this boy has a tire, this boy also has a tire. Now we need to choose among this and among this, which one is the smaller tire. As we can see from the diagram, this tire is the smaller tire. Why? Because this tire looks small as compared to this one, and this tire is the bigger tire. We'll see the next question. The next topic is biggest and smallest. So in this question we'll have to tick the smallest tree. So the smallest tree in this question, so we'll have to tick the tree that is the smallest. So this tree, it looks the biggest out of all these three. And the next, if we talk about the next big one, so this is the tree, and at the last, this is the smallest tree. So the answer to this question is this one. This is the smallest tree out of all these three trees given in the diagram. The next question, we will have to tick the biggest animal. So the biggest animal in this question, so this is the diagram of a dog, this is the diagram of a cat, and this is the diagram of an elephant. We need to take the biggest animal among all these three animals that have been given in the figure. The biggest animal we can see is the elephant. Why? Because it looks big as compared to these two animals. Now if we have to select the next bigger one, like this is the biggest, so the next bigger one will be this one, and this is eventually the smallest. Alright, we will see the next question. So the next question is, tick the smallest fruit. So we need to tick the fruit which is the smallest. This is the diagram of a mango, this is the diagram of a watermelon, and this is a cherry. So we need to tick the smallest fruit. As we can see clearly from the diagram, this is the answer, this is the smallest fruit. And if we were asked to tick the biggest one, please tell me what would be the biggest one. Yes, you're right, this is the biggest. So this is the biggest fruit among all these three fruits that are given over here. Next question is, tick the biggest bubble. So this is the picture of a boy, he is blowing some bubbles. Now we need to tick the biggest bubble out of all these bubbles which are given here. So we can clearly see in the diagram, this bubble is the biggest bubble. Why? Because it is big as compared to all these. Now if we were asked to tick the smallest one, this would be the smallest one. We will see the next question. The next topic is top, bottom. So when do we say that a person is at the top, and when do we say that someone is at the bottom? We'll see in this diagram. In this diagram, this is the picture of a boy, this is the picture of another boy, and this is the picture of the third boy. So we'll like mark it as like this is the picture of first boy, this is the picture of second boy, and this is the picture of third boy. So we can see that the first boy, this one, he is at the top. He is at the top. Why at the top? Because he is at some height. He is not at the ground. This is the ground level, and he is not at the ground. He is at a height. He is on the swing, and therefore we say that this boy is at the top. Similarly, we'll say that this boy is at the bottom. Similarly, this boy is also at the bottom. We'll see this diagram. This is the diagram where this is the picture of a tree, this is a picture of a cat, and this is the picture of a bird. So we need to identify which one among the bird and the cat means who is at the top and who is at the bottom. So we can see that the cat is at the ground, so he is at the bottom, and the bird is sitting at the top of the tree, and therefore he is at the top. We'll see the next question. The next question is, tick the pot on the top. So this is the diagram of a man who likes making pots. As we can see, he has made many different types of pots. So this is, now if we were asked to say or tick which one is the biggest pot, this is the biggest pot, and if we were asked to tick the one that is the smallest, so this is the smallest. Now the question is, tick the pot on the top means we need to identify the pot which is at the top. So in this question, the pot that will be at the top means the pot that will be at the highest level means there will not be any pot that will be above it. We can clearly see that this pot is at the highest level, and therefore we say that this pot is at the top, and also we will say that this pot is at the bottom because it is at the ground. The next question is, tick the animal at the bottom of the stairs. So this is the diagram. So this is the diagram of a stair. Now this is an animal, and this is also an animal. So we need to tick the animal that is at the bottom of the stairs, and we can clearly see that this animal is at the bottom. Why? Because he is at the ground, and the animal that will be at the highest level means there will not be no animal that will be above it. That means this is the animal and no one is above him, and therefore this animal is at the top. The answer is this. We'll see the next topic. Nearer, farther. So tick the bird nearer to the home. So in this question we are asked to tick the bird that is nearer to the home. Now when do we say that something is nearer, and when do we say that something is farther? We say that an object is nearer with respect to another object when it is very close to that object, and we say that some object, for example this object, is farther to an object, this farther to this home, when it will be a little far from that object, means it will look far. So now we'll take an example. See, this is the diagram of a bird. This is also a bird. Now this is the home, and we are asked to tick the bird which is nearer to the home. So we can clearly see that this is the picture of a home, this is a tree, this is a bird, and this is also a bird. So the bird that is nearer to the home is this bird. Why? Because this bird looks closer, is closer to this home, and this bird is farther. So we'll say that this bird is farther to the home and this bird is closer or nearer to the home. The next question is, tick the cat farther from the tree. Means we need to tick the cat which is farther from the tree. So this is the diagram or the picture of a mouse, this is the picture of a cat, and this is the picture of another cat. Please pause the video and try this question yourself. Alright, so I hope you have tried this question, and so we'll match the answer now. This is the picture of a cat, this is the picture of another cat, and we are asked to tick the cat which is farther from the tree. So we can clearly see that this cat is farther from the tree. Why? Because it is far away from this tree, and this cat is closer because it is very close to this tree. This is the tree. Alright, we'll see the next question. Nearest and farthest. So nearest and farthest, when do we say that something is nearest and when do we say that something is farthest? We say that something is nearest to some other thing. For example, this is the picture of a boy, this is the picture of a swing, this is the picture of a girl. So we say that a boy is nearest to a swing, this is a swing, when there will be no one who will be nearer to the swing than him. That means he will be the nearest, he will be the closest, and there will not be any other person or thing that will be closer to the swing than this boy. Then in that case we will say that he is the nearest. Similarly, this girl will be the farthest from the swing when when there will be no other thing, or when there will be no one who will be more farther away. What I mean is, this boy will be the nearest to the swing when he will be closest to the swing, and this girl will be the farthest from this swing when this girl will be at the farthest from the swing. So the answer to this question, if there would have been a question that tick the one who is the farthest from this swing, it would be this girl, and this boy would be the nearest. We'll try to solve a question. This is the diagram, and it has asked tick the puppy which is farthest from the tree. So this is the diagram of a tree, and these are the diagrams of some puppies. Now we need to identify the puppy who is the farthest from the tree. We'll also try to tick the one that is the nearest. Now we know that something is farthest from some object when no one else will be farther than him. That means this person, as we can see, is the farthest from this tree because no one is after him. So we will say that this puppy here is the farthest from this tree. And now if it was another question like tick the one that is the nearest to the tree, it would have been this one. Why? Because this puppy is the nearest. See that it is the closest to this tree, and there is no other puppy who is in front of him, or there is no other puppy who is like closer to the tree than this one. So this puppy is the closest. The next question is, we need to tick the tree nearest to the bird. So this is the diagram of a bird, as we can see, and these are the diagrams of trees. Now we need to tick the tree which is nearest to the bird. So alright, I would like you to do this question on your own. Try it once. Alright, so now we'll see the answer. So these are the three trees, and this is the diagram of a bird, and we need to identify the tree that is the nearest to this bird. So as we can clearly see that this tree is the nearest to this bird. Why? Because there is no other tree which is in front of him, or which is like nearer to this bird than him. So this tree is the nearest or the closest to the bird. Now if we were asked to find the tree that is farthest to this bird, it would be this one, this tree. Why? Because it is at the farthest distance from this bird. I mean, there is no other tree who is after him, or there is no other tree who is farther away from him. So he is the farthest, and therefore this is the tree who is the farthest to this bird. Alright, so thank you guys